Welcome to Vision Paranormal. During this series, we are going to investigate the locations which are claimed to be haunted and thrive with paranormal activity. Today, we are visiting Cross Keys, a 13th century restaurant where our journey into the unexplained begins.
As a UK5 team, we're a pretty new team. Paul and myself used to be members of a former team which I started, and we investigated together for 18 months. But the team we have now, we have all different we have 5 elements in the team, from skepticism to open ship believer. And what we try to do, well, not everything we hear, see and feel is going to be paranormal. Everything pretty much has a rational explanation. But when those sort of explanations are put into place and those theories are put to bed, whatever we're left with, that is what we're seeking. We've talked to Spirit, we've had Spirit talk back to us. We were in a shopping centre in Trowbridge where we heard a child calling to us when we had the only access into the building. I think if you talk to Spirit and if you call out and you're respectful, I think you will get some response.
My expectations for today are, I'll never have any actual expectations. It doesn't help in any way to have any.
We met Derrick when he came down here to film Ghost Towns, and obviously we saw it featured on TV, and I thought that'd be a fantastic location to bring the team. Seeing what they picked up, it would be interesting to see what Paul, our medium, would pick up.
As we was sort of like moseying back toward the building, I was very drawn to the fact that that window was, I don't know, there was something going on, and I was sort of like, it was almost like I want to go up there immediately and really sort of, you know, find out what's happening. In my own mind's eye, if you like, I felt that it was almost like there was somebody looking out the window at me. I've been a medium pretty much all my life, but I've only realised since the 11th of November 2003, 20 to 4 in the afternoon to be precise. It's just an ability that I've got. I can talk to dead people. This young lad is able, I don't know how, but he's able to manifest himself as the child, manifest himself as a female, and also manifest himself as a male. Now, I have never experienced that before. I've never heard of it before. I
guess what started my journey was I lost 2 best friends in 1999, 3 months apart, through suicide. And I think that started my journey again to find out what happens when we die, you know, when we're dead, are we dead?
Yes, the physical dies, the physical passes. We, as spirit, carry on. That energy just carries on. People would know that there is something going on within that building. And I would say that people would have said, oh, there is a male energy, male as in, you know, adult male. And then obviously a young child male and also a female thing. But I feel that it's him all the way through. We're not human beings trying to experience spirit. We're actually spirit experiencing being human beings. I did get the name, he called himself Tom, I believe. His given name was Thomas.
There is supposed to be the spirits of some young children that roam around the Cross Keys shopping centre. 2 in particular, Thomas and Charlotte, make themselves known in the restaurant. I would say that people have heard things going on, like knocking type thing, almost like a footstep type scenario. But people have I think, especially with the footsteps, I think that people have just dismissed it as being, oh, it's such and such, oh, so-and-so's up there or whatever, but it's got nothing to do with that. I do believe that it has been him. On one of my first evenings here on my own, I was actually on our ground floor and I could quite clearly hear the ghost walking around. And since then it hasn't stopped. I've had chair legs thrown, I've had doors slammed, I've been chased out the building. You know, I'm getting the feelings within like the solar plex, which I would normally get when I'm just before I do a reading, which I'm a little bit surprised about. Here I feel really almost on edge.
Do you think it could be the spirit of the child?
I don't think it's got anything to do with him.
Is the spirit everywhere, or is it just mainly down here?
No, I would say he is able to manifest himself wherever he likes.
Does he understand or know why we're here for?
I think he's got an understanding to a certain degree. I'm not sure he fully appreciates what he's able to do.
I couldn't believe he said that. He's such a cheeky.
Don't be cleaning properly, Bill.
We just got marbles in some of the tables.
That's the lines.
We use a few things. We use EMF meters, which measure the magnetic field in the atmosphere, and we get a lot of readings like that. Like we've had conversations, well, we suppose alleged conversations with what we think are spirits. We set up trigger objects, which we, which you'll see later on, placed all around the places where we understand there to be some kind of activity. Things such as marbles, anything that can be moved out of a circle, and we lay powder down as well, in case any kind of spirit activity wants to make a marking in that. What we do now at the moment is we're actually using the camcorder itself to record and take the audio from that and then just a small analogue radio providing like a white noise background for the spirits to try and use that to modulate their voices through.
Look at it at frequencies. Okay, you've got electric runs at 50 megahertz, yeah, 50 cycles per second or whatever. Now we have got our own vibration. If you can imagine spirit running at a higher vibration because they are a pure energy. Now to communicate, they need to turn their vibration down a little bit to slow their vibration, and to communicate efficiently, we need to raise our vibration. What you see is actually happening. I don't play with this. There's too many people that do that, and I'm not one of them. They're lowering their vibration to be able to communicate with you, so you can actually come into that sort of space. Now, when I'm working as a medium, all I can do is allow myself to relax and trusting that spirit, or somebody from spirit, is going to come in and start giving me information. I've got a central right pain here, right sort of there, I would say more or less over the heart. But for some reason I feel it's still connected to that young lad. But it was a female that I saw up here.
Could that be related to what you said downstairs about the child possibly being a chimney
I
sweep?
don't think that's got anything. I think this is all right to do with the building now. I've got the taste of grain in my mouth. The amount of change that's happened here it's quite confusing actually. I would say that somebody has experienced stuff up here.
I myself have experienced the paranormal activity here probably more than most.
Would he show himself like?
I'm hoping that he would.
I mean, not just sort of like tonight, but previously, would he show himself to say like customers, or would it just
I would
be?
say definitely, 100%.
When I was chased out of the building, I left through our back door. I was halfway up the fire escape stairs, and our back door swung open. I was too scared to go back down, so I carried on at the fire escape stairs, out the back door, the second back door, and got into my car, at which point the second back door flew open.
As I walked closer to you guys over that way, my chest went really, really tight. So I would ask, if you don't mind, if you guys could go that way to make sure I'm not picking up on something energetically from you.
Right there, it's actually like the table did move though, because it's right at the corner of my arm. It did actually move.
So potentially somebody could have touched it.
Yeah, but...
Well, we'll leave that as unexplained.
Yeah,
for now,
unexplained.
because, if we get anything else later.
Our team have discovered that marbles have moved, but no one touched the table.
Every time I walked up and down that stairs, halfway up that stairs, I just came down that, and my hair just feels like it's standing rigid. And when we went up earlier, I said I felt really uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable in what sort of way? What, feeling wise, or just the atmosphere?
Just chill right down my spine. Just really cold down my back.
But the table that the marbles are on was the table that Derrick used to do some table tipping, and it was quite active, I believe, that night. Yeah, I just find that quite interesting.
That's really the only reason.
Got some good revelations.
Sorry? I do feel like I'm making something. Making something.
Could that account? Could that possibly account for what you were feeling, what you were tasting upstairs?
I don't know. That's a point.
In the past, we've captured quite a few very interesting orbs. We do make an effort to try and explain what they could be. Especially like, for instance, a lot of people will put orbs down to dust, and if we walk into a dusty room where you can obviously see dust, we'll take quite a few pictures so you can show those alongside them, and you can't even see dust on the camera anyway, we've found. On one place I was on, everyone was going around saying, oh, I feel quite weird and I feel strange and my eyes are hurting and everything. And when they asked me, I said, no, I'm absolutely fine, it's not a problem. And as soon as I said I'm absolutely fine, that specific second, it was like someone was jabbing me right in the back, a real, quite a, you know, it hurt kind of thing. And like the top of my eyes were really pressing in kind of thing. So that's probably my most bizarre paranormal experience during investigations that we found.
Ah. There, under that, like there, the centre of it would have been under that table.
Throughout the investigation, Paul felt a ray of spiritual activity, and he was able to feel whether ghosts were likely to be manifested.
You know, like we did it.
You want me to get my hands and knees then, didn't you?
No.
It was just like somebody stuck a needle in my finger.
Would you be getting information from other people that has actually walked through here, or?
Don't think so. It's almost like the present has been deleted to a point, and I'm looking down through the layers of that to sort of see if what I can pick up.
We can't link the instances. They seem to be random.
Obviously, we've
Are we
come
able
up...
to go through there as well?
What's through there again? It's just fire escape.
Just fire escape. I wouldn't mind that. Just. This doesn't feel right. This feels like. To be honest, this is rubbish. That's what I want to. It's like it's got. This doesn't feel old. It just feels like it's added.
We haven't had any particular activity since, but that is quite normal. It comes in fits and starts. You get a couple of weeks with lots of activity and then nothing for a while. Paul was very accurate. He was spot on a lot of the historical details of the building that he could have only found out by a lot of research, and research that we've actually paid someone to do, not stuff you'd find in the local library.
Even regulars would say, you know, that there's certain places where they feel best to like sit and where they don't feel comfortable sitting. I would say that that's probably the case.
There is a lady, mid-40s, who died in the dentist chair downstairs, who wanders about the middle floor and down the old Jacobean staircase, which is out in the Plume of Feathers yard outside. I have never seen her, although lots of customers say they feel her presence, especially on the table where she's meant to have died.
If I stood here in times gone past, I would be putting myself at some sort of risk. Do you know what I mean? I would feel like I was like, phew, that is a real risky thing to do, Paul. Don't do it. But that's the way I feel. They have got certain abilities, as we've got abilities, to show themselves, if that's what they desire to do.
At one point during the séance, I felt a small child sitting on my lap. This isn't the first time that I felt this when sitting in our top floor, and I could just feel a presence. I just knew, like a weight on my lap, that a child was there. So we've had quite a lot of paranormal activity. Yes, I was a skeptic before I started working in the restaurant. Even after the first 2 or 3 occurrences, I still didn't believe, but I do now.
This concludes our first episode. Next time we will go to Grovely Woods and see what our team could find there.